So I wanted to come back on here and do another YouTube style live on my Instagram because y'all, I still have not made it home, and I'm so mad because I had content planned all the way up until the new year because I wanted to do like videos similar to things we need to leave in 2022 and things like that. So I'm not gonna be able to do that. I'm still stuck in my hometown thanks to Southwest. Shout out to Southwest. And I don't have my laptop. I didn't bring anything because I really thought it was gonna be a quick trip, but it's turning into, I think we're going on like my 7th day. Y'all know I have made it known on my platform that there is a Black woman divide. And I know a lot of you guys probably don't agree with that, but I just don't see how you're not seeing it because it's playing out right now. And then I got on TikTok today and I saw a debate that is taking place between light-skinned Black women and dark-skinned Black women. You guys, you have to be freaking kidding me. Is this really happening? We're really doing this in 2022? So let me go ahead and pull up the video because I was so shocked by this. Let me explain why this is happening. Because I'm not here to take sides. I told you that. I'm not here to take sides at all. But it really just comes down to women not doing the work. And they're exposing themselves. They're exposing themselves. They're exposing how they have low self-esteem. And they're projecting it onto other people. Okay? And that's what I'm seeing. I told you that if you have not done the work, most likely you're being exposed. And it's not something that you have to go out and do. It's just how you're behaving right now. A lot of people are triggered right now. A lot of people are being triggered because the state of the world. A lot of people are being triggered because it's the end of the year. And a lot of people feel the need to get things off their chest. But it's like, sis, what have you done all year to where you feel like this is acceptable right now? It's crazy. So let's get into it. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Alright, I know this gonna ruffle some feathers, but I don't care because I love the Flamin' Hot Barbecue Caramel and some salsa. So let's dip this chip and get on into it, shall we? I know I can't be the only lightly melanated woman that feels as though that the darker melanated women cast us out a lot. Not all, but many. But then we're told that we have pretty girl or light skin syndrome because we're light skinned. I know y'all seen a bunch of videos surfacing around the web when they're promoting Black excellence, Black beauty, Black goddesses, all that great shit, right? Because it's great. But how often do you see a melanated woman that looks like me or close to it in those videos, in those memes, in those pictures when you Google Black goddesses and they pop up all the Black goddesses? Yeah, not too many, not too often. I recently saw a video where there was a parade of Black women marching and they were saying, I love being Black, as they should, because I do. And I watched that video a few times and not once did I see a Black woman that looked like me. And I've seen many videos like this. We talk about racism a lot, but we're racist against our own race without even noticing it. And where did that stem from?
Okay, so girl, first of all, I was shocked. I personally was shocked because I'm like, she can't be serious. Now, I saw the first video that I commented on was the video that she made responding to the original video that I just played. And I caught the end of it. And then when I went back and I watched the original video, I'm like, girl, are you serious right now? And listen, I don't know how old she is, but this is coming from a light skin. Some would label me light skin. It really depends on the day. It really depends on the Black person, but some would consider me light skin, right? This is coming from a girl that grew up watching 90s television shows. And there was always, if there was just one token dark skinned Black girl. And so it's so weird how she is saying that because it's a form of gaslighting to me. It's a form of gaslighting. Like, I could give you so many examples. Like, prime example, Living Single. I was just watching that the other night. And once again, there's only one brown skinned girl, and that was Maxine. Just one, but she wasn't really even highlighted really for her beauty or anything like that. It was, she was more so highlighted for her degree and the fact that she was a lawyer, you know, but not necessarily for her beauty. but then she was casted with other lighter complected black women. Then we could use the example of My Wife and Kids, right? When the show originally started, you had the original daughter, she was brown skinned, she was a dark skinned black girl, and then they recasted her for a lighter complected biracial woman. Let's be clear, she wasn't even black. We could even talk about different world. We could talk about different world. We could talk about the Cosby Show. Like, I could give you so many examples. So I really didn't, you guys, that was a mess. That was a mess. Claire, I mean, some would say she's more on the browner skin spectrum, but not really. I felt like My Wife and Kids got it right the first time, and then they just recasted the daughter altogether. Fresh Prince is another example. So you guys, this is what I be talking about when you don't do the work on yourself, right? She has turned her low self-esteem into this dark-skinned black women versus light-skinned black women, and it just didn't make sense to me. It really didn't. We could even go as far as activists and things like that back then. Angela Davis was one of the women at the very forefront, but she's saying that she doesn't recall seeing women like herself, and it's like, well, girl, it's because you're not stepping outside of yourself. You're not stepping outside of the way that you think to see how there are representations when it comes to you. Are you looking into them, though? And I think it's unfair to place blame on brown skin or dark skin women because they're creating spaces for themselves. They were forced to create these spaces, by the way. It wasn't something that they even wanted to do, but they realized that, okay, these people are not going to include me, so I'm going to go out and I'm going to create my own space, and I'm going to make it exclusive, because if I don't, then I'm going to be overshadowed. What are girls not getting? What are women not getting? I don't get that. And for me, I'm not offended by that. I'm not offended by that at all. If anything, I'm very understanding, and it makes sense to me. And to be honest, I won't invade those spaces because those spaces were just simply not created for me. And when you have confidence, when you are a woman that truly has confidence, you won't be bothered by people creating spaces for themselves and people that are like themselves, because you're confident in who you are. So you're not going to be bothered by people creating spaces outside of who you are. And this is what I was talking about. This divide that's happening right now among black women. I'm telling you, it's the women that have not done the work on themselves. They are exposing themselves right now, and they are projecting. So they're going to try to bait you in an argument. They're going to try to bait you into getting angry, and they want you to get loud with them, and they want to trigger you. That is what's going on. And it's because they're unhappy with themselves. And so it's starting to really show. It's starting to really show. So I wanted to give you guys that warning that if people, or just women particularly, are out here triggering you or trying to, at least, it's because they're exposing their insecurities, and they're very bothered by you, a woman who is truly doing the work on themselves. And to be honest, you guys, I feel like a lot of black women are doing the work on themselves. And by doing the work on yourself as a brown skinned girl, you're going out here creating spaces for you. You're going where you're appreciated, and she's bothered by that. Instead of her doing the same thing, working on herself and doing what she needs to do for herself, instead she wants to feel some type of way, feel insecure about it, and then project it. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. And to be honest, within the last, I would say, when the colorism conversation really came about on YouTube, brown skinned women have been doing a lot of work for themselves. Like, that's just either you're included in that or you're not. But why don't you do your own work? I tell you that all the time. If you are a black woman, no matter the shade that you are, sexuality, doesn't matter. You need to show up, but you need to show up for yourself. Stop depending on everybody else to show up for you and represent you in the way that you want to be represented. It don't make no damn sense to me. It doesn't make sense. And I say this all the time. You are the main character of your own life. So show up the way that you want to show up for yourself. But you can't get mad that other women are choosing to show up for themselves and for the women that look like them. I don't get that. And then this doesn't just start and end in the Black community, because I've been on TikTok and I have seen so many melanated Indian women on TikTok creating content, and I've never seen them before. Never seen them before. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't even know that Indian people could even get to that shade of Black, y'all. I was very taken back by that. But I'm like, wow, so they deal with colorism in their community as well. So this is not just a Black issue. This is a world issue. When it comes to melanated skin, people are threatened. People are intimidated. People have a major problem with that. So it's not even just in the Black community that this situation occurs. So why are people wanting to act tone deaf to this conversation? I don't understand it, y'all. I just don't get it. I don't get it. So she's responding to all these people. She's not trying to, in my opinion, try to hear what other people are coming from, y'all. But please don't send no hate to this girl, because it's really not about hate. It's just, she's a woman that hasn't done the work on herself, and it's showing. And this is why we're moving to a time spiritually where you're going to be triggered. You're going to be triggered. Are you prepared for that? And we live in a world now that is pretty unpredictable. So you need to work on yourself and better yourself, because you're going to be triggered way more than you were previously. You're going to be more triggered than you've ever been triggered before. Like, do you have any type of spiritual foundation? You need to get into that. And the reason why is because the world is going to be unpredictable. What can you truly rely on? You can't rely on these external or worldly things, because they're not going to be stable for you. So you got to find the stability within yourself. I'm going to recommend spirituality, religion, whatever. But to keep projecting your insecurities onto people, you're just going to push people away. Nobody's going to want to be around you. Because I wouldn't want to deal with that.